Welcome back to the channel, folks. It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel, and I've got some breaking news for you about Mike Johnson this morning. He was on the phone with another podcaster, or a news radio, should I say, and I caught the thing. He spills the beans on Biden, the Democrat Party, what's going on with the infighting, everything behind closed doors and closed chambers. It's good stuff, folks. I learned a lot, and I'm glad to be able to bring it to y'all here directly. But before I get into that, I just want to say it's America's birthday. This flag behind me, it represents more than just the stars and the stripes. It represents each and every American in this country, including our veterans and the people that I consider patriots, the ones that consider themselves patriots and American loving citizens. We love our country. There's no doubt about it. And I hope everybody takes time out to celebrate and enjoy their Independence Day tomorrow, because we're fixing to get our independence back. Joe Biden's out of there. He's done. He's toast. And that's what this video is all about. It's about the information we found out. Get a little bit of information from Trump about Kamala. Get a whole lot of information about what's going on with the infighting with Mike Johnson. And a couple more video clips closer to the end that involve getting one of these guys off the ticket. I'm talking about this Doug Burgum guy. I found a couple of clips on him that are just show me who he really is. He's deep state. No doubt about it. And I got a funny right there at the last clip. So stick around, folks. It's fixing to get interesting. Now, this is Mike Johnson explaining what's going on at the White House. Check it out.
You got it. Anytime.
The first discussion that I had heard about the 25th Amendment had come from you, and I had made notes when we first started talking about you coming on. But, Mike, things have changed so much just in the past few days. It is so fluid. Do you think Joe Biden is going to be the Democrat nominee?
You know what? I'd put it at 50-50 at the moment, and I can't believe I'm saying that. We actually want to run against Joe Biden.
Right. I thought the same thing.
Out loud. Yeah. But it does seem to be that we're in a sea change here, and you have a counting number of Democrats in Congress who are now calling for his removal from the ticket. They got a real problem, though, Mike. They got, they don't. There's not an easy way to replace them, and they don't have anyone who can do it. You can't leapfrog Kamala Harris if you're the Democrat Party, because then you create another set of problems for yourself. And Michelle Obama can't parachute in and save them because she doesn't want to do it. So they've got a real quandary on their hands. The debate put on display for the whole country and frighteningly to our adversaries as well, the enemies of our nation, that our commander-in-chief is in a very weakened state. And
before I go any further, I'm going to have to break this up a couple times for y'all. I won't play you the whole 12-minute clip, but it's out there. It's Speaker Johnson on Mike Johnson's channel. Speaker Mike Johnson's channel if you want to watch the full 12-minute interview. But I will play a few more minutes of it. But y'all catch what he said in the very beginning of this. Biden's been exposed for what's really happening. We already know he's going to go on. He didn't say this, but we already know he's going to go on ABC George Stephanopoulos Friday. And if he can't handle himself there, they're done with him. That's the rumor on the Gateway Pundit and on Daily Mail. Just my take on, and I'm in agreement with that. I believe that will be the last litmus test for Biden. But in reality, Mike Johnson breaks it down here. Kamala ain't going to work, and they can't step over Kamala. The infighting is who's going to do the job, and should we just keep him in office? It is so screwed up for the Democrats right now. They do not have a real time capable solution. They're effed, as they say, as I say. Let's go ahead and get back into it, but this gets juicy, folks. Lots of little Easter eggs in this interview.
And, I've said in every interview I've done nationally that I take no pleasure in pointing out what everybody sees.
Right.
I've known this for quite some time, and I'm not gone out and done press conferences on it because I was fearful about what China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea might do if they recognize the.
Y'all catch that? Mike Johnson says, I've known he's lost his mind for a while, and he'll tell you about a story here directly that let him know just how bad it was when he seen how he got basically blackballed and then cock-blocked, for a better term of word, of actually being able to get along with Biden, to be able to talk to Biden one-on-one. He basically said they didn't make it available for him. But he's just telling the God's honest truth as to what's really going on behind closed doors, the things that the media can't report on because they're shut out of that loop at the moment.
The true state of things. So we got a serious problem. The reason we brought up the 25th Amendment is because desperate times call for desperate measures. And I don't know what's going to happen, but, once again, we're in uncharted waters as a country.
Well, I heard you in an interview talking about, they asked you, you have met one-on-one with Joe Biden over the, past several months, if not longer. And I think the interviewer, and I forgot who it was, asked you, have you seen this decline personally? Which you replied affirmative.
I have. Back in January, it was rather famously reported for 8 straight weeks, I could not get a meeting with the president. His staff would not allow it. And so I finally got frustrated. I needed to talk to him about national security measures, and it was very important. And so I went to the Hill press corps, and I said, I just want everybody to be aware, the Speaker of the House is no longer allowed to meet with the President of the United States. Just let that settle on you for a minute, Well, they put so much pressure on the White House, he relented, he invited me in, and when I showed up, it was an ambush, because he had Kamala there, and Chuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries, and all of them. The point was that they did not want me to be alone with him in a room, because now I understand, we all understand, they were afraid of what he might say. In hindsight, I look back on it, and I realized every time that I've met with him, he's been reading from a script. They hand him a notebook with laminated pages. He literally reads it to me. He's not fit to be the president. Okay.
Let's break this down real quick. What we've heard so far in just the last minute of Mike Johnson speaking. They not only wouldn't let me get to him, wouldn't let me be alone with him, prevented me for 8 weeks from even having access to be with him with other people. He personally hid the fact that he knew Joe Biden was slipping because he didn't want other countries to know. And in the name of national security, he kept his mouth shut. Probably like the rest of Congress, or the ones that are worried they're going to lose their job when Joe Biden loses this election. Not only will Joe Biden lose in 2024, the Democrats in Congress and in the Senate are terrified they're going to lose too. That's why this infighting is happening right now. There's a couple more takes at a couple more things that Mike Johnson says in this clip that are just mind-blowing as well. He knows for a fact Biden is not all there, and the Democrats, the Chuck Schumers, who he's called out, are covering for him. This is sad, folks, but I'm glad to hear it. This ought to be breaking news. People ought to be sharing this and just letting the world know. Now even Mike Johnson has come out and said, I've seen what's behind the curtain, and it's scary.
And I don't, again, take no pleasure in saying this. It's not personal. Everybody ages differently. But clearly, just look at the tape of Joe Biden 4 years ago when the last time he ran president. And now, it's a precipitous decline, and it's one that we cannot afford.
Mike, you said that Michelle Obama doesn't want it. I don't think she's going to have a choice. I think that's going to be their nominee. I think Barack's going to say, you're going to do it because they want back in the White House.
I don't think they want it that badly. The Obamas have a very lavish lifestyle now. They don't have to work hard. They make lots of money.
I hope you're right.
No, well, here's the other thing too, though. She's looking at the same polls that we are. Right now, everyone believes that we are going to win. The Republican Party is going to retake the Senate, and we're going to grow our House majority. And so the Obamas look at that and they say, by some miracle, if we could defeat Donald Trump, would we want the office? Michelle Obama says, do I want to be sitting in the Oval Office when I've got conservative Republicans running both chambers of Congress? I don't think so. That's not going to be very fun for me. And she's right.
So Big Mike don't want the job. I don't blame her. I don't care if they put Big Mike, Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris, one of these generals that they think could run to be a politician, one of these left-wing governors like Gavin Newsom. There's nobody in this country, I believe, that could beat Trump on this train. This train is rolling that direction. Trump is going to win. Not just my prediction, everybody's prediction at this point. Biden's faltering, and even if they replace him, they're going to disenfranchise a lot of the Biden voters to get back into this.
So, I think that is a big deterrence for her, and they don't want to take the sacrifice. And the Obamas, in my estimation, are, they're going to look out for their own interest first, put it that way.
So, Speaker Johnson, Democrat governors are traveling to the White House today, including Governor Gavin Newsom, who says he is going to, quote unquote, stand with President Biden. Is that really, just between us and Mike and thousands of listeners here in the 4th Congressional District, is that really what's going on today? Or are they going to ask Biden to step down?
Well, you're hearing murmurs behind the scenes, Louis, you've got a lot of these governors who feel exactly the way everybody else in the country does. I mean, the latest number says 70% of voters say Biden does not have the mental acuity to serve as president. So they've got to go home to their states and answer to their own constituencies. And they're worried about, their chances in this election cycle. They're terrified of Donald Trump being president again. Why? Because we're going to turn America's engines back on. We're going to get the economy humming again. We're going to bring common sense back to Washington. We've got a long, very aggressive first 100 days agenda to cut taxes, cut regulations, have spending cuts, pro-growth policies. And we're going to take these agencies that have been weaponized against the people back down to size, and that terrifies the left. And so, the governors, I think, are going to have some intense fellowship. Let's say it that way. That's how we say it in the East. Right? They're going to have intense fellowship with the president today, right? Difficult conversations, but again, if they had a viable plan B, they would have already begun that. They're in a real mess.
That's enough. Wow, there was a lot to unfold there. There's like I said, there's about another 6 minutes of this interview. If you want to watch it, go over to Speaker Mike Johnson's channel over here on YouTube. He's got a whole 56,000 subscribers. He's doing great. He's such a loved guy by Republicans. Not really. I think he's more loved by a lot of Democrats, to be honest. Some people say Mike Johnson's doing a great job, but I'll be honest, Mike Johnson has spent the money, and allowed Democrat policies to come through on his watch when it wasn't necessary. So I don't like Mike Johnson, I'll be honest. I think as soon as he got in office, he turned on the MAGA party. Just my opinion. I wouldn't vote for the guy if he was in my state. But truth be known, I've heard that he is trying to do an amicus brief to get Steve Bannon out of jail. Let's see if that works or not. If he does, then I'll apologize. But I do appreciate the insightful truth from him this morning, no matter who it's coming from, the left or the right. When I hear a piece of information that I believe is the truth and I can share it with y'all, props to the one that spilled the beans. At least for that, thank you, Mike Johnson. But for the most part, we all know you're just a rhino. Now, I've got several clips here I want to bring to y'all a little inspirational one, a little funny one, and a little bit more breaking news. Let's get into it. Now, with all this going on involving elections, first thing everybody wants to know is Kamala going to replace Joe? Well, at this point, nobody really knows. So we'll ask Trump what he thinks about Kamala.
She has some bad moments. Her moments are almost as bad as his. I think his are worse, actually.
Yeah.
But
she seems pretty senile, too.
She speaks in rhyme. It's weird. It's weird. But she has bad moments. And
in rhyme? What do you...
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there, because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole thing is weird. This is not a president of the United States future. And I think they probably have some kind of a primary. And she has some bad moments. Her moments are...
Well, that's what Trump thinks about Kamala Harris. The wheels of the bus go round and round. Now, I want to bring you all this video clip here. Actually, a couple of video clips. We'll start with this one here. This is one of Trump's possible picks. And I do not like this guy. I didn't know him from Adam originally. But now that I've gotten to learn a little bit more about him, now I know I really don't like him. I think he is a deep state plant. I think he has found some way to get in Trump's inner circle as one of the possible picks. It's definitely not out of popularity for the guy. And so I'm curious as to what angle he was able to get in Trump's inner circle. Because between watching these two clips, you'll be as convinced as me this guy is not the right man to be VP and maybe future president someday. This guy's deep state warmonger. Check it out. And this guy, I don't think he likes Trump either. Listen to this.
Do business with Donald Trump?
I don't think so.
The question was, will you be willing to do business with Donald Trump?
Why?
I just think that it's important that you're judged by the company you keep, and you
just wouldn't do business with him?
No, I wouldn't.
You see that, folks? and Trump's got him as a VP possibility. I don't like that at all. Maybe somebody needs to send Trump this clip, send it over to him on Truth, let him know this guy is not your
Destroy peer
friend.
competitors.
Now, this is another Doug Burgum clip, this governor, but MVP possibility. I hope not. But this is a minute and a half of him talking about how our existential threat is China, and we need to be supporting Ukraine no matter what. And this is just listen to the words coming out of his mouth. He sounds like he's working for the military-industrial complex, if you ask me, or at least got stocks in bullets or something.
Cold war with China, and we're actually at war with Russia. We just haven't sent troops yet. We're sending material, we're sending funding, we're sending advisors.
The idea that if you just said, wow, I got a bargain for you, you send a little bit of money, no troops, and they'll destroy a peer competitors. I mean, 2 years ago, we thought Russia was one of our competitors as a superpower from a military standpoint. And little Ukraine has been able to take out a huge chunk of their capability. I mean, I don't call that irresponsible spending. I call that a bargain.
Point blank, do you support more funding for Ukraine?
I support us making sure that Putin does not get a win in Ukraine, because this idea that somehow, and we've got to understand as a nation, not Republicans or Democrats, that we have driven Russia into China's arms. Russia is now is China's discount gas station, and that somehow if we don't defeat Putin, it's basically handing another win to China. You can't say, oh, China's our existential threat, but let's not send money to Russia. Russia and
This guy sounds like he wants to go to war with Russia. He is talking war. He is warmongering against Russia over China. Now, listen, this guy here is obviously in the missile defense spending game or something. I mean, why would you talk like this otherwise?
China are absolutely connected, and then throw in North Korea, who's been meeting both with China and Russia. North Korea supplying arms to Russia. Iran, who the Biden administration gave $6 billion to in a hostage exchange, making the world totally a more dangerous place for every American traveler, every American business leader that's going abroad. You do that, and then who's supplying arms? Who's supplying drones to Russia? Iran. And the idea that somehow people are saying, oh, we shouldn't send money to Ukraine because we need to spend it on our own border. Actually, America, we can do both of those things at the same time, and it's not that hard. We can help Ukraine beat Russia, and we can secure our own border at the same time, but the real focus has to be China. That's where the real threat is.
We're in a Cold War with.
So this guy says we need to fight off China. We need to beat Russia. Ukraine is doing a great job of fending Russia off with all of our spending, and we need to continue to stay in war. This guy is not going to work. I hope Trump does not pick this guy. That's all I can say. I hope Trump doesn't pick this guy. Now, if you can see this map here, folks, this is holy crap. According to the leaked polling numbers from the Democratic firm Open Labs, this map falls within the margin of error. This is what they believe is going to happen in November. This is the speculated red wave that we talked about in 2022 that never happened. This is the real red wave, and this is one of the Open Labs is one of the many polling places that the CNN and all the mainstream media uses for their statistical maps. And no doubt about it, if they're even half right, we've got this, folks. It takes 270 to win, and it looks like it'll be more like 300 plus for Trump. They're speculating 358 on electoral votes. Now, they may be off by a couple of states, but I believe it's going to go like that, folks. We're going to take the entire Midwest. We're going to take 3/4 of the country. We're going to take everything but the coast, is what I have to believe. All right, folks, I got a couple more clips here I want to bring to y'all today. I thought were awesome.
Breathtaking. So, look, we're seeing a big meltdown, obviously, in the mainstream media, so-called, about the immunity decision from the Supreme Court. But I'm here to tell you that they're worried for themselves, and they're worried because, they think that they're going to be investigated. And the Supreme Court says very clearly in this opinion that the president has take care clause power under Article 2 of the Constitution. He can investigate whom he sees fit to investigate, working with the Justice Department, and he can prosecute whom he sees fit to prosecute. This is like the shot heard around the world for the deep state, for the administrative state, because they thought that they had set up this cozy apparatus where a Justice Department occupied principally by career officials who were largely Democrats, like 90% plus. Those were the only ones who controlled those decisions. And now that the Supreme Court has reminded them that the President of the United States actually controls those decisions, you can tell that they're not just big mad, they are big hopping nervous.
The real orange man bad. All right, here we go. Folks, this is hilarious. Check this out.
I was thinking about the last 30, 35 days or so. I'm not sure any presidential candidate in modern history has had the incredible run of luck of Donald Trump. I mean, from the moment he got convicted in New York on a case that broadly unified the right, and he got his big cash infusion, to the debate implosion of Biden last week, to now we know from the Supreme Court ruling today, he's not going to see the inside of a courtroom outside of sentencing in New York before November. He is on an amazing luck. Democrats were hoping the month of June would totally change the trajectory of this campaign, and it did. Now they're in a nosedive, and they have no idea how to pull out of it. He is on an incredible winning streak right now, and his campaign 30 days after getting convicted is in far better shape than it was. So I was thinking about the last 30, 35 days or so.
Woo, I love it, folks. Got to throw a little comedy in there in the middle of all this news, even though it's been mostly wins for us for a while. We're used to taking it on the chin, being Republicans. The last couple of weeks has been wonderful. I cannot say that enough.
Word, former President Donald Trump has been indicted. It's the first time in the nation's 246-year history that a sitting or former president has been indicted.
This is a disgrace.
Let's be clear, folks. This is like communist level shit.
President Donald Trump, they don't want him busting through the gates again and getting reelected because that scares the hell out of them.
They spied on his campaign, they raided his home, now they indict him, they've been after him. But in spite of everyone being after him, he said he would reduce regulations, he did. He said he would cut taxes, he did. He said he would build the wall, he did. He said he would put the embassy in Jerusalem, he did. He said he would get us out of that crazy Iran deal, and he did. He said he would put conservatives on our highest court, and he did. He did what he told us, we the people, that he would do.
They are doing anything they can to stop him and to stop what he is trying to accomplish.
Americans will rally around him because he stood for things they believe in, and they came after him because they want to come after you and all of us.
He's #1 in the polls. He's the only one who can stop this lawlessness. He's the only one who will restore equal justice under the law.
It will be my personal mission.
That the America you know and love is gone, and it's why we need to fight to bring her back.
America is on the edge of an abyss, and our movement is the only force on earth that can save it. Either the deep state destroys America, or we destroy the deep state. If you put me back in the White House, their reign is over. I am your warrior, I am your justice, and for those who have been wronged and betrayed, I am your retribution, I am your retribution. This is the final battle. They know it, I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. This is it. It's time to deliver a victory for the American people. We are going to start winning again.
You're standing in front of a freight train here. How are you going to stop it? Remains to be seen.
Wow, that was amazing. That's all I got for you today, folks. Everybody have a great day. I hope you liked that last video clip. You stuck around long enough to see the best for last. I saved my comical parts of the show and the anything really inspirational, like memes and meme videos and things I find on like Steve Scavino's channel. Save that stuff for the end. So stick around, folks. Always the end of the show. Everybody have a great day. Everybody enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Hopefully everybody will stay safe and try not to burn anything down shooting fireworks. Like, subscribe, and share to Vote Patriots. Over and out.